Before we dive into today's episode, there's a special offer happening this month I don't want you to miss. If you've considered coaching support but can't possibly fit another meeting into your schedule, my calendar-free accountability package is the answer, including flexible check-ins through a messaging app for on-demand support. This subscription is half off through December 19th with a bonus clarity call to get you started. Book now and lock in the discounted rate for the lifetime of your subscription. Go to positivelyproductive.com/coaching. We talked this year about caregiving, chronic illness, parenting, mental health, messy homes, and seasons of our life where capacity is limited. And what becomes obvious is that if a productivity approach only works when life is calm, quiet, and predictable, it doesn't actually work. It's not helpful at all. Real life is rarely tidy. And a truly effective productivity system must flex to meet you where you are. You're listening to the Positively Living podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Zaratny, founder of Positively Productive Systems and a productivity coach certified in positive psychology and stress management. Join me as we explore ways to live a more proactive, positive life with episodes on productivity, self-awareness, mindset, entrepreneur life, habits and systems, simplicity, fun, and more. I understand overwhelm personally as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, wife and mom to kids and cats, and as a caregiver. I'm here to help you choose what's right for you so you can do less, live more, and breathe easier. Sound good? Let's get to it. Welcome to the Positively Living podcast. I'm your host, Lisa, and I'm ready to wrap up this year. How about you? I feel like 2025 asked a lot of us. In fairness, every year does, because life is going to life us. But I suspect I'm not alone when I say this past year asked us to stretch and adapt more than usual, and to keep showing up even when things felt uncertain, heavy, and exhausting. And that's why throughout this year, I've encouraged you to rethink what productivity even means. Because when life is happening in real time, when you're caregiving, navigating health challenges, parenting, running a business, or just trying to be a human in a very loud and busy world, adding more pressure to be productive is a fast track to burnout. As I look back on the conversations we had on the podcast in 2025, what stands out to me most isn't any single tip or tool. It's that we talked about productivity in a way that honors real life. We talked about productivity that works even when schedules aren't ideal and conditions aren't perfect. Because when will they ever be? So for this final episode of the year, I want to recap those conversations by sharing my favorite productivity themes for real life. The themes that came up again and again, the lessons that kept resurfacing, and the reminders that I hope you carry with you into next year and beyond. And as we go, I'll be sure to mention supporting episodes so you can explore the topics that resonate with you at your own pace. To make it simple to find them, I've created a special playlist on the podcast page of the positivelyproductive.com website called 2025 Recap List. When I look at everything we covered this year, these ideas weren't just topics, they were patterns, and they showed up again and again because they matter, especially when life is full. One of the clearest messages of 2025 was this: productivity doesn't happen in a vacuum. It has to work for real life. That's been my mantra for years because I know what it's like to be in really real life, to be in survival mode, to have life overtake me and mess up my well-intentioned plans to be productive. We talked this year about caregiving, chronic illness, parenting, mental health, messy homes, and seasons of our life where capacity is limited. And what becomes obvious is that if a productivity approach only works when life is calm, quiet, and predictable, it doesn't actually work. It's not helpful at all. Real life is rarely tidy, and a truly effective productivity system must flex to meet you where you are. This year reinforced that productivity isn't about forcing yourself to function like someone else. It's about designing support around your actual circumstances. So if productivity feels hard right now, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It may simply mean that the system you're using doesn't fit your energy, your responsibilities, and/or your season of life. Some supporting episodes you might like to listen to are 251, Advice for Caregivers to Make Medical Visits Easier, 260, Why Moms Need to Do Less, 262, Why You Must Care for the Caregiver, 270, No-Cost Self-Care Tips for Chronic Illness, and 286, When Doing It All Doesn't Work. Another theme that kept coming up was the role of the nervous system. We've talked about stress, burnout, transitions, slowing down, and what happens when your body is constantly in survival mode. And the takeaway was clear. You can't plan your way out of burnout. If your nervous system is overwhelmed, you must tend to that first. Even the best systems in the world won't work if your nervous system isn't. Productivity isn't just cognitive, it's physiological. When your nervous system doesn't feel safe or regulated, focus becomes harder, decisions feel heavier, and even simple tasks can feel overwhelming. Supporting your nervous system isn't a luxury, it's essential. It's foundational. That might look like building in pauses, honoring transitions between tasks, slowing your pace, or letting go of the idea that pushing harder is the answer. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is create a little more safety and space in your schedule. Some supporting episodes you might like to listen to are 256, 10 Tips to Help You Stress Less, 257, The Special Nerve That Helps with Stress, 269, How to Be Productive Without Burning Out, 274, Manage Your Time Better with Proper Transitions, 279, Why You Must Support Your Nervous System, and 291, How Slowing Down Makes You More Productive. Over and over again this year, we came back to systems. Not rigid systems, not complicated systems, but systems that support how you actually live and work. Why systems? Because motivation is unreliable and willpower is finite. And when productivity depends on you trying harder, the result tends to be frustration and burnout. Whether we're talking about themes, time blocking, transitions, intentional scheduling, or self-care, the underlying message has been the same. Your systems should work for you, not against you. There's a concept in productivity called friction, which is anything that makes work harder, slower, or more frustrating than necessary. As you can imagine, that drains your energy and makes doing the thing far less likely. Good systems reduce friction. They make it easier to follow through without constant effort. If something requires constant discipline to maintain, it may not be a personal failure if you can't do it. It may be a design issue. Be sure to check your system. Some supporting episodes you may like to listen to are 245, Themes, the simple time management trick you need, 254, Time and Task Management Best Practices, 273, How to Make Time Blocking Fun, 274, Manage Your Time Better with Proper Transitions, 281, Why You Need a System for Self-Care, and 290, End Overwhelm Through Intentional Scheduling. While it may feel counterintuitive, especially in a culture that celebrates doing more, the truth is that doing less is often the key to improved productivity. And that's the next theme that we're talking about. One of the strongest lessons of the year was that doing less intentionally often leads to better outcomes. We talked about stepping back, reducing overload, letting go of urgency, and recognizing when doing it all simply isn't working. And again, the pattern was clear. Clarity and efficiency come from creating space. You do much better work when you have the space to do it. When you're stretched too thin, everything feels urgent and nothing gets your best energy. Doing less isn't about being lazy or giving up. It's about choosing where your time, energy, and attention actually belong. Instead of squeezing more in, you're making room for what truly matters. Some supporting episodes you might like to listen to: 252, What to Do When Everything in Life is Urgent; 260, Why Moms Need to Do Less. That may sound familiar. 269, How to Be Productive Without Burning Out. 272, Why Stepping Back Helps You Move Forward. 286, When Doing It All Doesn't Work. Again, that should be familiar. And 292, Finish Your Year Burnout Free. If there's one thing I hope you take away from the podcast this year, it's that shame isn't a motivator, it's a block. So many productivity struggles are fueled by guilt, self-criticism, and the feeling that you should be doing more, better, faster. And what we saw again and again is that shame leads to avoidance, burnout, and disconnection. The complete opposite. Compassion, on the other hand, creates clarity. It allows you to assess what's working and what's not, and what you actually need. Keeping judgment out of it allows for curiosity and creativity, and that is where you can shine. Shame-free productivity isn't about lowering standards. It's about creating an environment where progress is possible because you feel supported, not punished. Speaking of being supported, supporting episodes you may like to listen to: 250, Shame-free Productivity, the most effective way to get things done. 280, How to Make Productivity Feel Good Again. 282, When Productivity Isn't Good for You. Yeah, I know. That's a curious one, right? Be sure to check that out. It may surprise you. 286, When Doing It All Doesn't Work. And 289, Where Your To-Do List Trips You Up. Another quiet but powerful theme this year was the idea that being present, showing up, and making the effort consistently matters far more than results. As a matter of fact, it's how to get the results you want and do it while staying healthy. We talked about intentionality, mindfulness, gratitude, and being present in small moments. What emerged was this reminder that productivity without being present can feel empty, even when you're getting things done. Being productive isn't just about the outcomes. It's about how you experience your life along the way. Being present allows you to notice what's enough, what's meaningful, and what's worth your energy. And it helps you connect your productivity efforts to your real life for appreciation as well as achievement. Some supporting episodes you might like to listen to: 247, Why Being Intentional is Essential to Be Productive. 263, 5 Steps to Be Present Each Day. 277, How Your Morning Coffee Can Help You Practice Mindfulness. And 288, How Practicing Gratitude Can Make You Happy. The final and perhaps my favorite reminder from this year is that real change rarely comes from dramatic overhauls. Don't get me wrong, I like a good closet clean out, and, big makeovers can be fun. But really, true, lasting change comes from small, consistent steps. We talked about habits, personality, finding your productive state, prioritization, and meeting yourself where you are. And the consistent message was that sustainable progress builds gradually. You don't have to fix everything at once. That's a good thing, because who's got time for that? And you don't have to have a perfect plan. You just need the next best step forward. It's not only easier to achieve, it gives you the space to course correct and grow into that change. You're ready by the time you get there. Small steps, taken consistently and compassionately, create momentum and change that lasts. Some supporting episodes for this topic you may like to listen to: 265, Finding Your Most Productive State. 268, Build Strong Habits Based on Your Personality. 276, How Small Steps Create Big Change. 278, 4 Effective Ways to Prioritize Tasks. As you move forward toward a new year or a new chapter in your life, I invite you to carry these ideas with you. Let productivity work for your real life. Support your nervous system. Build systems that reduce effort and work for you. Choose less intentionally, and I promise you'll get more. Release your shame. Stay present and take small, consistent steps, and you will get where you want to go. And if you'd like help putting these ideas into practice, I encourage you to check out the 2025 recap playlist again on the positivelyproductive.com podcast page. And also, I encourage you to download my free productivity toolkit. It's a supportive resource for many of these topics with a number of workbooks in it that help you understand who you are and how you work best. And you can request that at positivelyproductive.com/PLPKit, PLPKIT. Thank you for being here with me this year. Thank you for listening, reflecting, and showing up for all of these conversations. And if you missed any of these conversations or you're new here, I encourage you to go back and check some of those out and be ready for new conversations on these topics and so much more coming up. And thank you, too, for reviewing the podcast and sharing your feedback with me and letting me know that this is making a difference. I am so grateful to walk this path with you, to encourage you, and I'm so excited to see what's next. And until next time, may I remind you to celebrate all you do and treat yourself kindly. You don't need to do more to be productive and successful. You need to do what's right for you with systems and support that honor you. Thank you for joining me today. Your time is precious, and I'm honored you chose to spend it with me. I hope this episode inspired you, and I encourage you to think about one action you can take based on today's topic. Then share it with me so I can cheer you on. Go to positivelyproductive.com to connect with me, read blog posts, and access links from each episode and download resources.